Good evening to all, and welcome to Emertxe's course demo session with respect to embedded systems course. My name is Mubin, and I work as a technology head at Emertxe. So hope you are aware about our company in brief, right? I'll just try to introduce our company. So we are an edtech organization established in the year of 2003. It's been 20 years since we were incorporated. So we are a company who are primarily doing training in the area of embedded systems, IoT, and full stack web application. And we have trained thousands of students as well as working professionals who were interested to learn these technologies, primarily to get themselves domain expertise and to eventually get a job in a core domain. So we have a set of mentors we have a team of mentors and placement team members who are responsible for delivering the trainings and help students or aspirants in the area of embedded systems and IoT to get a core job in good companies. So we are trying to solve two problems. One is employability, wherein a fresh engineer who passed out of college, we can see that they study for 4 years and find difficulty in getting into good core companies. So our goal is to basically make fresh engineers employable and help them basically learn technologies which are very much required for the industries. We also cater to organizations and working professionals who are interested to basically upskill their employees, as well as people who are self-motivated are interested to basically change their domain. For example, who are working in non-core domain, they are interested to basically learn about core technologies. So we provide training to working professionals who are interested to gain expertise and eventually land in a good company. So that is in brief about us. So we are closer to 130 plus team members, and we've been established ourselves since 20 years as a reputed organization, and we have trained thousands of students in different technologies, including embedded systems, Internet of Things, and full stack web application development as well. So this course demo is a short introduction to what Emertxe provides in the embedded system course, what you will be learning in brief. And we'll also discuss briefly about how the placement process looks like in Emertxe. And if you have any questions related to the course, related to placements at Emertxe, feel free to ask those questions in the chat box. I will monitor the chat window and I'll be happy to answer those queries. So a brief about our leadership team. So our core team consists of 3 team members: Mr. Maz, who's the managing director and as well as co-founder of Emertxe, and Mr. Jayakumar, who's also one of the directors, and myself, Mubin. So let me brief about Maz. Maz is founder of this company, and he overall oversees the company assets, right? And Jayakumar, he is also having expertise in different areas, including placements and connecting with the college and marketing, etc. So I manage the technical department at Emertxe, who are responsible for delivering trainings and also help students get placed in core companies. So I'm a computer science graduate. I passed out in the year of 2003, and it's been 20 years since I passed out. And after I passed out, I joined Emertxe as a fresher, worked closer to 1.5 years, 1.5 to 2 years in Emertxe as a developer, and I gained a lot of experience as a software developer in Emertxe. After that, I joined a company, 2 other companies, including Novel and HP, primarily as a software developer and lead engineer. So got opportunity to work on different technologies, including like cross-platform, like software development and I was also one of the lead engineers in HP for developing HP Linux print, fax, scan device drivers. So I worked there for a few years. Then I joined back to Emertxe as a full-time entrepreneur. So I was like passionate about teaching and wanted to basically become an entrepreneur. So that's how basically I rejoined back to Emertxe, and it's been 12 years, more than 12 years. I'm associated with Emertxe as a, I think I forgot to share the screen. Yeah, thanks for reminding. So hope my screen is visible now. Can you please confirm? Okay, thanks. Sorry, I missed out showing the slides. Not much though, the slides as of now. So it's been 12 years since I'm working at Emertxe, managing the technical team. So my responsibility is to ensure that the training delivery is of good quality, and students who are taking up a course are able to basically land up in a good job. It's not just my responsibility, overall our company's responsibility is that as such. So just to share you some information with respect to our placement partners, we are like associated with more than 1,000 companies in terms of like recruiting our students. More than 1,000, we are associated with more than 1,000 companies. Different types of companies recruit from us, like top-notch companies, like as you can see in the slide, including Qualcomm, Microchip, Chelsea, NXP, Ubersooner, Ampere, right, HP, Infineon. So we can see that Samsung, for example, ABB, LG Soft. So many of the multinational companies and top-notch companies hire from us, our students who are trained, as well as working professionals who are trained in the area of embedded systems, IoT, etc. They come to us and hire our students as freshers as well as experienced candidates. So in automotive companies like Bosch, right, aeronautical company like Collins Aerospace, right, companies like ZF, all these are automotive companies. Majority of the companies you can see are from automotive domain. They hire from us. Similarly, there are companies which are working in different segments. Like you can see companies from the wireless space, Vimara, Yana Mobility, right? So companies who are into like BIOS software development and basically hardware software is basically firmware development, including American Megatrends, right? Even companies like Analog Devices, Event Systems, etc. Board, for example, one of the consumer electronic companies, you might know that they're having wearable devices, etc. Right? So all type of companies come to our basically campus for recruitment. So this has been established over a period of like 20 years, right? So we have a reputation of basically training students for last 20 years. And because of that, all these companies visit our campus for placements. Just wanted to showcase you this because this is what many of the students, right, see, right? What is the final outcome? Final outcome really matters. Where do I land up in a job, right? Okay, so after learning, what is that I'm going to achieve? So we are just sharing some of the logos, right? Most of the other information related to placements available in our website. You can visit emertxe.com/placements to find all the companies which has been recruited so far. Okay. So these are all the placement clients. The Tata Technologies, recently they hired from us, right? PVDN, right? All these companies are hiring from us. Okay. So this is just for your information, right? Just wanted to tell you that we have thousands of companies who are hiring from us. Before I get into the details of the course, right? What is there inside the course? How we deliver the course, right? I will share a demo of how the actual course class delivery looks like and the placement process. Maybe let's start asking a question. What do you think? What is happening in the current job market? How is the market? Is it good, or is there any issues with respect to hiring? Are people facing any challenges? How is the market trending now? What do you think? Are there enough job opportunities in the market? in the industry? So I'm seeing some responses like we can see that there are a lot of IT jobs, sir. Okay, that's what Selvana is saying. Then a lot of layoffs, Tushar is saying, right? We hear a lot of news saying that people are getting laid off in different companies. Okay. Yeah. So recession is going on now, not too many opportunities. Freshers are not getting jobs. Feel no, it's critical. Okay, very critical to get a job, sir. Right? Lavanya is saying recession is going on, Neha is saying, right? Okay. So overall, we could see that uh, compared to like last year, right, the number of job opportunities in the market, right, overall what we hear from news or what we hear from professionals working in the companies, it's not so good. So this is not true entirely. We cannot say that it's very bad as such. Yes, there is some recession, right, but some basically areas we can see that layoffs are happening. Even like big companies, if you take Meta, right, Microsoft, Amazon, Google, all these companies, right, we can see that many people, thousands of people are getting laid off, right? So we heard about these news. What about core companies? What do you think? How is it going on in the core industry? Are there opportunities in the core industry? Let's say for embedded systems, what do you think? Okay, so there are ups and downs in industry. How is the core industry? We don't have any idea. All right, no problem. Anyways, might we have some sort of opportunities. Okay, sure. So scope of core jobs, right? If you observe what's happening around, you can see that every device is getting enabled with electronics and sensors, right? You can see anything and everything is getting basically uh, automated by the use of electronics, right? Anything is everything is getting connected using IoT. So what does it mean, right? You can see wherever you go, you can see that there is some embedded system. You are in your house, you can see equipments in your house, right? Household equipments, right? Many of the things, for example, talk about your washing machine, your fridge, your TV, your security devices like your camera, right? You step out of the house, right? You can see like traffic signals, right? You go to hospital, you go to healthcare, basically system. You can see everywhere. You can see the use of embedded systems. So is it good when everything is getting basically transformed into an embedded system? What does it indicate? So more and more devices are getting enabled with electronics, right? So that means in future, right, more jobs will get generated, right? More opportunities will be there for engineers who have the skills with respect to embedded systems. Okay. So Shubham Singh, this is a course demo webinar. This is not an internship related webinar, right? So we just completed one internship. It will take some few more months for us to start the next internship. I hope I answered your query. Okay, this is not an internship related webinar, right? So second point I just want to highlight is that India is becoming a semiconductor hub with more manufacturing moving in, right? So if you might have heard in the news, right? So we are like, we can see that companies like Apple, for example, they have started their manufacturing unit in India, right? So slowly now Google is coming, they have started their manufacturing unit in India. That is maybe just the beginning. So moreover, I think we are trying to become, India is trying to become a semiconductor hub wherein we'll have our own basically fab, etc., which is not easy, but basically at least we have a start. So when we are planning to do something in the area of like setting up basically manufacturing units, right, setting up basically fabs, etc., automatically the jobs related to that will also increase, right? For example, working on the hardware side, automatically more and more basically jobs in the area of basically software also increase. Okay, so some of the stats for you. For example, recent study conducted by ESSCI, Electronics Sectors Skill Council of India, right, gives this information. So in the year of 2021-22, right, maybe last 1 year back, right, there were around 1.39 lakh jobs. Okay, this is, we are talking about the core domain, not about IT jobs. Whereas in future, maybe 2025 onwards, they are predicting that there will be 3 lakh jobs, which is almost 2.5x, right? So that many jobs will get generated because of all these factors. And 55% of these jobs are going to come in the design side, software design, hardware design, etc. Right? So what does it indicate? It means there is tremendous opportunity for engineers to grow in their career, right? So more and more core jobs will get generated because of other factors. So this means you don't have to basically worry about recession as such. The future looks good. So certain verticals we need to watch out for is like EV segment, right? You can see that most of the basically car manufacturing companies, they have also started to basically move to EV, right? So because of that, there will be a lot of R&D work coming into picture, right? New cars with EV need to basically fit in. So we'll have to have our R&D team, research team, development team, etc., who's going to basically do R&D as well as basically help them manufacture EV vehicles. So for example, if you look at not just cars, look at bikes in basically India, right? So Ola is one of the largest manufacturer of electric vehicles all across the globe, right? So we have Ather, we have Ola, we have other companies including Tata, right? Mahindra Electric, all these basically companies are moving to EV. So that means more opportunities are available in this segment. So it's all related to embedded systems, by the way. For example, Internet of Things, right? Anything is everything getting connected to internet. For example, you can see that the watch you wear, right? You basically have a internet camera, right? All these basically devices, right? You have traffic signals, right? Healthcare devices, consumer electronic devices, all these devices are connected to internet. So more and more basically opportunities will come in the embedded as well as IoT segment. So other segment to look out is like artificial intelligence. So artificial intelligence, even though it's not directly related to embedded systems, so what we are trying to do is that we are trying to basically build the intelligence in the device also, right? So intelligence can be built on the edge also. Okay, that's called as edge computing. So we can try to basically build the intelligence on the edge devices also. These are some of the verticals we need to look out for in future. So job opportunities is good, right? As you can see here, because of like many devices getting enabled with electronics, right? As well as because India is going to become a semiconductor hub, at least in India, we can see that there is a future. So we don't have to worry much. So what does it mean for you? So opportunity to build career beyond recession worries. Yes, there is some slowdown, but it should not affect people who are skilled, right? So skilled engineers should be able to get a job in the core domain. So the core hardware based companies have strong foundations, whereas these companies, for example, invest for long term. So many of the automotive companies, right, you can say they are there for hundreds of years, right? They have their foundations strong. Whereas pure software based companies have a wider swing. They go up and down fast. You can see some companies, right? They initially a lot of basically people invest in that company, right? They get funded, etc., right? Because of their ideas. But many times you can also see companies like they grow very fast. They also come down very fast. So some sort of uncertainty, unpredictability is there because of the nature of that company, right? So whereas from a placement side, we are not seeing much of an issue in terms of number of companies, right, visiting our campus. Okay, so I can see that some questions has been posted. What I'll do is that after this slide is completed, I'll answer your queries. So overall, we see that Emertxe placement momentum is in place, right? So we could see that the average number of companies visiting us for placements, we are able to maintain, right? So we are optimistic, but we are cautious, right? So certain things we don't have control over, right? Beyond basically our control, some things are there, right? So there is a saying, right? When the going goes tough, the tough gets going. So the situation can become tough, but who gets going? Whoever basically is strong, right? So if you want to basically get a good job, right, sustain an industry, you have to make sure that you have the right set of skills. So skills is the only differentiating factor, right, which will be a decision factor for the companies. to either to hire or retain you. So let me look at the chat window, right? Some questions are there. Let me open that. Okay. Okay, somebody's asking some doubt. I'm having a gap of 5 years. Is it possible to get a job? Yes, right. So we have a lot of basically examples wherein students or basically engineers who passed out the college, maybe they did not get a core job and they worked in different industries, or maybe they didn't work in a technical domain. So they also take up the course, and after completing the course, provided they follow what our guidelines, they also end up in a core job. Not of much of an concern. Let me move on. So here is a snapshot of how the hiring, right, placements looks like in Emertxe. So we show this graph so that candidates who are attending this webinar are aware of. So like every year, right, every month we keep a track of like how many companies visit us for placements. So the red indicator is like blue one is indicating the last year's stats, and the red indicates the 2023 stats, right? 2022 is blue, 2023 is red. So on an average, you can see that 100 plus companies are visiting us for placements, right? So you can see Jan also, there was 100 plus companies, Feb, right? Every month we're able to consistently basically make sure that 100 plus companies visit our campus for placements. So October is going on, right? We have 10 more days, right? 60 plus companies have already started hiring from us, right? So as I told you, right? So even though we can see that there is some amount of recession happening in the industry, we are able to sustain the basically number of companies visiting for us for placements. So you should not be worried much as such. We have the right set of skills, should be able to land in a good job as well. Okay. Any questions you have? Yeah, I think I'm seeing some questions. Can CS graduates and software developers change their domain to embedded systems and IoT? Yes, they can. Okay, so it depends on you, right? So CS candidates, sometimes they may look at other technologies, maybe software development, right? Or web development, etc. That could be their areas of interest, right? So, but if you're really interested to switch the domain to embedded systems, you can do that. For CS candidates, we also have a separate course track, which is called as full stack web development courses. Also, we have, which is typically in tuned for CS candidates and who are interested to gain knowledge about full stack web application development. Deepika, I hope I answered your question. So Pratik is saying, I'm currently working in some Visa Steel. Can it be possible to switch to embedded system? Yes. So there are many. There are two. I would say there are three segment of candidates who take up the course. One is like freshers who passed out the college, right? Who are interested to get a job in core domain. That's one area of candidates who join our course. The second category of people are that who are like working somewhere in a non-technical domain. They are interested to basically get a core job. That is another segment of basically candidates who take up the course. So if you're working in non-technical domain, right, as mentioned by Pratik, Manish, etc., you can very well basically learn technologies like embedded systems, and you can apply for interviews and land up in a good job in the core domain. If there is a career gap, can we get a high package, maybe around 10 lakhs per annum? So yeah, so it depends like how many years gap you have, right? It cannot be like you have 10 years of gap, right? Something like that, or 7 years of gap, you didn't do anything, right? That may not work. So if the gap is less, right, then definitely, right, we can basically help you to land up a job in a good company. So fees related information, I will share in the end. Okay, so the contact details where you can reach out for fees information. So sorry, are you providing job assistance, or else companies will come and hire us in your campus? Harsh, I'm not sure what you meant, right? So Pratik Sahu was asking, is it a placement guaranteed course? Yes, it's a placement guaranteed course, provided you follow what we say, right? For example, you enroll for our course, there are some guidelines given. If you are able to basically stick to that guidelines, you will end up in a job. Okay, so some more questions. I think I'm currently working in hardware design field. Is it possible? Yes. So those are working in hardware domain, let's say they're interested to switch to software, you can very well do that, Manasa, not a problem. So do freshers get higher packages? Yes, in embedded system through Emertxe placement. Yes, freshers also will get a good package. Core companies. I'll show you some of the info, some of the companies who are hiring with good packages. Okay, just wait. What are the job roles available after this course? Neha's asking, job roles will be any basically company who are working in the embedded domain, be it like let's say automotive domain, be it for example automotive aeronautical domain, be it for example consumer electronics, be it for example in IoT, Internet of Things. So different basically verticals will be there. Job roles could be something related to development. In development also there could be multiple roles. It could be like you may work as an entry level engineer where you are going to do bug fixing, or you may get a job as a feature development engineer. You may get a job in the area of device drivers. You may get a job as an embedded application engineer. It varies from company to company. The job role will vary. So Anuj is asking, I'm working in mechanical engineering field since last 13 years. So is it possible for getting a job in IoT field? Anuj, I would say it's possible, but 13 years working in a non-core domain, right? I would say you'll have to really think, why do you want to switch to IoT field? Is it something which you're really passionate about, or just for the sake of basically transitioning, you are like transitioning, right? Sometimes basically you're passionate about learning something, you want to switch, you can very well do that. But just for sake of changing the job, right? I would not recommend doing that, because you have almost 13 years of experience in the mechanical engineering field. Yeah, Deepika is saying my work has some relation to medical devices, hence I felt it's better to switch to embedded system and IT domain. Good to know. So is placement interview conducted in online or offline for students, Jivita? Okay. It will be in both the modes, depends on the company, right? Some companies say it will be offline, some companies will say online, but majority of the companies, we are no longer in COVID, right? So many of the companies, they say you have to come to the office and take up the interviews. But there are few companies who will basically do the first round maybe online, maybe the final round they will do it in the offline mode. Some will do all the rounds in the online mode. But in terms of number of companies doing that, it's less, right? Majority of the companies, they're doing it on offline mode only now. I'm doing MTech in EV from Nirma University first year. So can I go in embedded system domain as electrical engineer? Yes, that's possible, right? So for us, it's like 100 companies hiring from us in a month. All type of companies come. For example, some of the companies, they may hire for the EV domain, but specifically they will not call out that, yes, for example, let's say you are like there is an opening in LG, for example, right? LG will hire for like automotive domain. LG will hire for consumer electronics also, right? Let's say smart TVs, etc. So that information sometimes they will not provide as to which department you're going to get hired for. It may depend upon your performance in the company as well initially. That could be a decision making factor. But for example, a company like Ather comes, yes, it's in the core, for example, electric vehicle domain. Mahindra Electric comes, for example, that could be in the core electric domain, right? So there is a choice for you, but I would say as a fresher, you should not be very specific that I want to work in an EV domain, right? So difference between online and offline course, maybe I will share this shortly. Okay, the details. Okay, a lot of questions are there. with respect to placements. I'll come to that. Difference between online and offline I'll discuss maybe later. I'll show some slides related to that. Okay, so this is a relevant question. Pritam is asking, if I switch from one domain to another, I need to start from beginning. Is my experience counted? Right. This is a common question which working professionals ask. So if the experience is relevant, it will get counted. For example, some of the companies, they see whether you are having some software development experience or not, right? Whether you have some testing experience or not, which is related to software industry. So at times, if it's like meaningful, right? Let's say development experience, testing experience, it may count. Right? It again depends on the company, right? But many of the companies recognize that you have worked maybe in the software domain for some years, that will get counted. You're working in the non-technical domain, right? Most likely it will not count as a relevant experience. I hope I answered your question, Preetham. Okay, I'm interested in automated embedded domain. Is there any course available in Emertxe for automated domain? So we are not specifically targeting automotive domain. So we are targeting all the industries, but we are not specifically targeting automotive domain and automotive courses. Okay. So Uddayani is asking ECEP or ECIP, which course with higher placement opportunities? It is similar, right? In terms of placement opportunities, right? We say that for those who opted for IoT course can apply for embedded system course also, right? Whereas some companies are very specific; they demand only like you have to know IoT related information, right? So ECEP and ECIP students can apply for all the companies. But ECIP students at times will get opportunities only specifically for them, right? Because the company said they should be trained in, for example, Arduino, that they should know about IoT protocols, etc. So there are some companies who will say, okay, we need these set of candidates. So it's similar in terms of opportunities. Okay, so I answered your questions. So Udayani and Abdul Afnan. Okay. So this course cover IoT development domain. So two courses are there, Sarvana Kumar. One is embedded systems course, other is the IoT course, right? So you can opt for any of these courses. So somebody's asking, I'm 2021 pass out. Can I get a job opportunity? Yes, 2021 is not very far, right? You'll get more opportunities as well. So course mode, we have both modes, right? Online mode as well as offline code mode is available. Both the modes are available. It depends upon your convenience, right? Some people say I can join from online, right? They can study from anywhere. They are not interested to come to the class and attend it. So it's for them online is preferable. But some say no, I want to basically attend the classes face to face. I want to attend the classes. They can take up the offline classes. So Karthikeyan is asking, is this course mostly about software? It's a embedded software course. We're not focusing on embedded hardware design, for example, circuit design, PCB design. We're not focused on that. It's an embedded software development course. Okay. So, okay, Sarvana Kumar is asking, do you collect extra charges after placements? No, right? So it's like a fixed fees there after placement based upon the package you get. We don't charge extra, right? It's not like that. You're paying for the course. You're paying because you're learning certain things. Okay? It's not for the placements. Okay, so Navneet is asking, is online also treated as offline in terms of facilities? Yes. Okay, so you'll get more better things in online. For example, offline you will not get recordings. Online you will get recordings also, so that you can revise the topics. Okay, so let me move on. Some of the questions I will try to answer later. So let me share some of the, right, so we publish not all, if not all, many of the placement related stats and information in our Instagram as well as LinkedIn pages, right? So you can subscribe to it so that you can get updates. So you can see, right, we are publishing the information and sharing some of the details in our Emertxe IT Instagram handle, right? You can see. You can also like follow us, Emertxe IT. So we can see like candidates, like some of them are freshers, some of them are working professionals, right? Somebody asked recently, right? So Sri Shail Pujari, he's a fresher, right? He got a job in LG Soft with a package of 7.5 lakhs. So people with career break, for example, this is a good example. She's having a career break of like 11 years. After 11 years, due to whatever reason, could be personal reasons, maybe, or she was working in a non-technical domain, etc. After 11 years, she got a job in L&D domain, right? So you can get a job provided you follow what we say and you're able to gain the skills, right? Skill is what really matters, right? Similarly, Mahesh Gowda, you can see he got a package of 9 lakhs in Chelsea this last month, for example, right? Chelsea is a company who works in like networking domain, core device driver development, right? It's a very good opportunity. And there are many other basically students who are basically placed in decent companies. You can see Rakesh got placed in Event Systems, right? Okay, so we can follow basically the Instagram page to get more information, right? So these details are available, right? We can see another person with a gap of 3 years got placed in aerotronics, right? So recently we placed a student in ABB, for example. You can see with a good package. ABB is a premium company, right? So just wanted to basically share you some of the information related to placements. You can very well navigate to Instagram. You'll get more such basically success stories in terms of the companies who are visiting for placements, in terms of what type of students, right, they're getting placed, right? For example, this guy, he was having a 2-year gap, right, in ABB, right? So you can see he got a package of, right, 7 lakhs after 2 years, right, and so on. So I just wanted to share this information. Okay, so we can see that freshers as well as working professionals, they get opportunity to apply for core companies, and whoever is basically able to crack those interviews, they land up in core companies. So only thing is that you have to make sure that whatever we say, right, we have like in terms of basically attending the classes, doing the assignments, project, etc. If you're able to do that to a decent level, you can land up in a good job. Okay, so I could see some more questions are popping up. Okay, let me answer them before I move to the course demos section. Okay, lot of queries. Okay. Ishita is asking, do we have abroad opportunity working into the career in this future? So we are not providing placements outside India, right? We provide placement only in India as of now, right? But the question maybe you're asking is, do you have opportunities outside India? Yes, there is enough opportunities outside India, but we may not be able to assist you in getting a job. Let's say you go to a country like US, UK, or etc. Right? We may not be able to assist you to basically directly place you in those companies. You may have to basically reach out to your referrals and apply in those companies so that you can get a job. So what is the, okay, do we have any circuit design course? No, we are not giving any circuit design courses. This is mostly embedded software related course. Okay, What is best, IoT or embedded course? It's depends on your interest, right? There is nothing called best, right? There are hundreds of basically subjects you can learn, right? So IoT and embedded, they are related. You will learn in IoT, you learn about embedded systems also, plus you learn some additional subjects, right? But in embedded system course, we go more in depth related to embedded systems. So here it's like little bit on more of embedded systems, more is about depth, understanding the details. Whereas IoT, we are focusing on the breadth part of it, right? You have to know, for example, develop the embedded system, how do you connect with the cloud, you have to learn about protocols, etc. So will you get any certificate of the course after completing, for example, the course, right? You will get a certificate definitely. So Deep is asking, how many hours do I need to work apart from this, from lecture? I would say on a daily basis, if you're able to spend 2 hours, right, consistently, like minimum 2 hours, if you're able to spend, that is good enough, right? So more you spend, better it is for you, apart from the class and lab. So do projects in offline or online mode? Yeah, projects will be similar for both online and offline mode because it's a software based project. There won't be much of a difference, right? If a student has less than 60%, it's placed or not. I think somebody's asking, he left, Ritesh left. Okay. Yes, we can place those students, but in terms of number of opportunities for people who are having less than 60%, will be limited. Some of the other institutes say we complete the course within 6 months. Is it possible? Within 4 months? So our courses, we will not be able to complete in 4 months time. It takes more time. Okay. So class timings, etc. I will share later. Okay, so let me move on to the next section, which is the actual details of the course. So what is the goal of basically taking up this embedded systems IoT course? We want to transform the engineers with skill gap, right? So if, for example, many of you completed engineering, right? You would have passed engineering with good score. The issue is that maybe we did not apply those things in our real life, or we would not have studied them in a practical way, right? If you don't study things practical way, you're not able to apply it, then whatever we study is not going to help us in our work or in getting a job also. So our goal is to transform engineers with skill gap into ready to deploy resources. So when you go into an organization, let's say put into a project, you should not take much time to basically get into that project. So otherwise what happens is that when you are a fresher, you don't have the skill, right? So companies will have to give a training for you for a few months before you can get deployed. So we're trying to bridge that gap so that you can directly start working on the projects in a company. So there are three options for the course. Option one is offline, offline basically mode, and option two is and three is online. Only thing is that timings will vary, right? So online regular we have mostly targeted for freshers or who are available during the morning or afternoon hours, and online evening is for people who are working maybe during the regular 9 to 6 work hours and they are available after that. For them we would recommend choosing the online evening option, right? So people ask which one is better, right? So it's up to you to decide which you want to join. For example, somebody who is willing to travel, let's say you're not from Bangalore, so we only have one basically center, it's in Bangalore. So if you're not from Bangalore, you want to take up the course right from your home, right? Let's say you have a laptop, you have internet connection available, you can go for option 2 or 3. Option 2 you can choose if you are a fresher, and if you are completed engineering, let's say you have 1 year 2 year gap, you are not having any other job, we would suggest you go for option 2, right, wherein you can take up the online courses. Option 3 is for people who are working, and who will maybe complete their work, let's say 9 to 6 job you have. After that, you're available. Those candidates you can choose, for example, option 3. So we typically have our classes starting at 7 p.m. 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. will be the classes for the option 3 category of interested candidates. Whereas offline, we have basically offline classroom sessions, which is held in our office in Bangalore, right? We are located in MG Road. So those who are not interested to basically take up the online course, let's say they are ready to basically shift to Bangalore and they'll stay here for, let's say, 6 to 9 months, etc. They can come here, stay in basically a PG or a room, and come to our basically campus on a daily basis to take up the class and lab sessions. Okay. Whereas online, it's going to be like similar. Only thing is that physically you're not coming to our office, whereas you will be attending the sessions through like software, right? Virtual classroom software is available wherein you can attend the class, understand the topics. There will be lab sessions also wherein mentors will help you to complete the assignments as well as projects. Okay, so that's about the mode of delivery in which you can attend the classes. Embedded courses are available in offline as well as online mode, but the IoT course is available only in the option 3. Only ECIP courses or embedded, so IoT courses we deliver in the online evening mode only. So those who are interested to basically take up the IoT course, they will have to join in the evening session. Hope this is clear. Okay, any questions related to the options? Yeah, so somebody's asking, can I take Mohammed Al Barat is asking, can I take option 3 from Bangladesh? Yes, you can very well do that, not a problem, right? Because you can, if your time, because our time zones are similar, you can take up that, not a problem. So online regular timings, sir, mostly it will be in the between 9:30 to 1:30. Okay, that will be the timing for online regular batches. Okay, 9:30 to 1:30 mostly. So we have batches in the morning, we have batches in the afternoon also. Okay, mostly we'll try to schedule in the morning as well. Depends upon the batch. So Harsha is asking, sir, when I come to offline system is provided or not? So if you have a system, let's say a laptop, we recommend you to get it, right? When you're attending the offline batches. If you don't have a basic laptop, we'll provide you a desktop. Varsha is asking, will you share the agenda of embedded course? Are you talking about the curriculum, course curriculum? So course curriculum, I would suggest you can go to website and download it. Maybe I'll share the link to you, right? Like I'll share the in brief about which modules we are teaching. But you can look at the course curriculum by downloading the PDF. Offline timings, offline we have 3 slots, right? With three batches we run parallelly, right? Batch 1 starts at 7:30 a.m. in the morning. Batch 2 starts at 11:15, and batch 3 starts at 3 p.m. 3 batches we have, one after another. So depending upon the month and who enrolls first, the timings can vary because batches get filled up very fast. So Nampalli is asking how many batches will be there in online batch and offline batch. So offline batch typically it will be around something like 40 to 70, right? Most of the classes are of size 50. We have bigger classes which may go up to 70. That is a kind of basically size. Online it can go a little higher, right? So it depends upon how many students enroll for the online batch. It may be less or it could be more, depends on the batch size. Online staff and are equally talented as offline lectures? Yes. Okay, so some of the mentors handle both, right? Online as well as offline they take, right? So some mentors handle only online, but they are equally basically trained to deliver the courses. In fact, the online mentors will be little bit better in terms of the communication level, etc. But technically they are similar. Yeah, we are not training in the hardware side of it. We are training in the embedded system software side of it. I think I already answered this. So Ishika Kaur is saying we can have college from 8:30 to 3:30. So we cannot attend. If you're attending colleges, if you're working, for example, then it will be difficult to attend during this time. So only one option is that you'll have to join the evening batch, which is in the online mode. So detailed curriculum is available, I guess, right, in the website. Let me check. If it's not, that I can share it with you later, Tushar. Can I shift to other timing course in online if my timings are not matching? I'm not sure what you meant. Like your work hours keep changing, Manish. So we have like fixed batches. Like sometimes they may not be in sync. There'll be some difference in terms of which topic is going on. You cannot keep switching between one batch to another, right? You have to stick to one batch, try to complete at least that module in that specific timing. Let's say later on you want to basically shift from online regular to online evening, let's say you want to shift, that may be possible, or vice versa also. But you cannot do this like on a continuous basis. It could be something which you can do one time. Okay, some of the questions I've already answered, like what is the strength of each class, etc. I've already answered. Timings for offline, it is like 7:30 to 11, that's one batch. Okay, 7:30 to 11 is one batch, and 11:15 to 3 o'clock is the second batch, and 3 p.m. to 6:30 p.m. is the third batch. On an average, you'll have 3 or 45 minutes to 4 hour sessions in a day. So Jivanti is asking, placement companies, will they come from Hyderabad? Yes. So placement companies can be from anywhere in India. They come from Bangalore, they come from Chennai, they come from Hyderabad, they come from Pune, they come from Noida, they even come from basically Gujarat, Rajasthan, right? Everywhere even from Kerala, they are hiring, right? So depending upon your basically interest, you can apply for companies which are based out of your location. So will you teach programming language from basics to advanced? Yes, we teach from scratch, including basics. We'll teach you from scratch to advanced also. Okay. So how many calls you provide for less than 60% if unlimited calls they are not raised, then okay. So we say that we will provide some like limited set of opportunities for people 60%, but we don't limit as such. You can apply for more compared to basically people with more than 60%, you'll get lesser opportunities. It's not limited, but you'll get less opportunities. So for online mode, will you have entry online? Not necessarily, Nampalli, because companies don't see whether you're taking online course or offline course. For companies, it's like whatever they feel it is better, they will do, right? If you're online, it's not for you they are hiring, right? It's for them, whatever is convenient, they will decide. For them, it's like online is convenient, they'll conduct online. For them, offline is convenient, they will conduct offline. They will not see like our student is basically online or offline. So what we recommend is typically that, let's say you're an online student and you want to start attending interviews, like which location you want to basically get a job, to that location you can move in so that you can get more opportunities. Till then, you can continue to attend online interviews. Whichever company is providing online interviews, you can take up those interviews. Lakshmi, I think I answered your question. Okay, a lot of questions are there. I'll try my best to answer. If I'm not able to answer some of the questions, okay, you can reach out to our student counselor team, right? Course counselor team. I will share the number later. So it will not be possible for me to answer all the queries. I'll try to address whichever is possible. Okay, related to placement, when will it start? Some questions are coming there. I have that in my slides. I'll share it. Okay. Let me continue with the slides. Okay, so just to show you a detailed comparison between, right? You can see here we have three categories: offline, online regular, and online evening, right? So this is like okay, offline. Okay, this has to be corrected. I think some mistake happened here while updating. It's not 5 months. So duration, typically it's going to take minimum of 6 months. It can go up to 9 months also, the course duration. It depends upon how fast you are able to complete the assignments and project. Number of modules in offline is 8. One extra module is there, whereas in online there will be 7 modules. On a daily basis, you'll have 2 hours of class, 1 hour 45 minutes to 2 hours of class, right? And 2 hours of lab session. This will be true for offline as well as online modes. You'll have 2 hours of class and 1.5 hours of basically lab on a daily basis. We'll try to have it on a daily every day, or it may be around 3 days a week also for the advanced modules. So you can, if you take up the evening batch, we'll have 2 hours of class and 1 hour of lab every day for 5 days a week. Okay, so on a daily basis we'll have class as well as lab sessions, right? And class timings will be okay. I think this is not correct. It starts at 7:30. Sorry, this is also not updated. 7:30 is the first batch. Okay, then second batch is at 11:30 and the third batch is at 3 p.m. Okay, I think I picked up the wrong slide. Sorry for the basically inconvenience here. So this is not the updated slide. Let me change it. So offline class timings are first batch 1. It is 7:30 a.m. to 11:15 a.m. Batch 2, it is 11:15 a.m. to 3 p.m. Batch 3 is 3 p.m. to 6. Okay, these are the options available for offline. Depending upon the month which you're joining, depending upon the batch you're joining, any of these timings will be available. For online regular, okay, which is like people who are not working, right? They're available. They'll have classes between 9:30 a.m. to 1:30 p.m. For online evening, okay, they will have class at 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. Lab will be at 6 p.m. Right. This is like Monday to Friday. On Saturdays, you will have session between, one session will be there between typically 9:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. which will be informed in advance. In case you're not able to attend the online sessions, okay, let's say for working professionals are working, right? Let's say you're not able to attend some session, you can watch the recorded videos. It's only for online mode. Right? So Tushar is asking, is it possible to join online class during basic module and then later join offline class? You may be able to do it, but sometimes what happens there, the batch is full, right? There may not be, due to space constraints, if not possible, but one or two candidates, it may be possible to, for example, incorporate that. Okay. Sarsha is asking some question related to placements. I'll come to that shortly. So if you attend one company, you got a job, and can you attend another company? No, you can't do that. So you have to accept that offer, right? So one company you attend, and let's say you got a job in that company, right? You'll have to join that company. You'll not be, it's not possible for us to provide another opportunity. Preetham is asking, can I apply for job after 4 months or I need to wait for 6 months? Now this is a typical question which freshers ask, right? Many of them are impatient, right? They have studied some 4 years of engineering, right? Studied 45 subjects. Still people don't get a job, right? So I studied for 4 years, right? 8 semesters. I have already studied 45 subjects. I will study for another 4 months and I should get a job, right? So that you have to think why you're asking that question and whether it's possible or not, right? If I studied 45 subjects and I'm not getting a job, and if I study 6 subjects, how will I get a job, right? So maybe you need to think before asking such questions, right? So like you're telling that, okay, what you did in engineering, you're going to achieve more than that in 4 months, right? We need to think introspect. So I would say there should be some patience before you can basically start applying, and you should be able to gain some skills. So important thing is that, can you learn everything in 4 months, right? If you are having that capability, yes, everything can complete in 4 months, and very well you can start applying for a job and get a job. But that's not the case for an basically average person, right? As an average person, we have to basically make sure that we complete some modules, right? Let's say you have to complete C module, you have to complete data structure module, then you can start applying. Now, what if the companies ask something which I don't know? Let's say there is a subject microcontroller. They start asking microcontrollers for me, and I don't know that subject. Will you be able to clear that interview? No, right? So it's ideal that you complete most of the subjects, then you start applying, rather than applying earlier, because you will not get selected as you don't know certain topics, right? So that's the answer. That's my answer to your question, Preetham. Better you wait, right? That's what I'm saying. Otherwise you'll get disappointed. Oh, somebody asked some question which is there in the later subjects which I don't know, so it is going to be a waste. Navita lab, okay, for other basically offline batches, it will be like Monday to Saturday. Mostly on Saturdays for offline batches, you will have a test. Okay, some Saturdays will be off in general, right? Some of the Saturdays will be off as well. Not all Saturdays are working, because we give 2 days off to our mentors also. So some of the Saturdays we will not have any sessions. Okay, let me move on. So that's about the timings, right? So in case of offline mode, you will not get any recorded sessions by default, whereas in online mode you'll get recorded sessions. You can see here, online mode you have tick tick, that means you'll get recorded sessions. In case of offline mode, a physical board will be provided to you, like PIC microcontroller based board will be provided to you, Whereas in case of online mode, a simulator will be installed. We can install a simulator on your system, so it will be as if you're working on a real hardware only. Okay, let me show you an example of how the simulator looks like. Okay, this is how a simulator will look like when you start work, even we'll be working in the online board, right? This looks like a real board. Only thing is it is not there with you physically, right? Whatever you perform, operations you can perform on a real board, you can do it here. In fact, you can do a lot of other things also. For example, let's say you want to choose a microcontroller, you can choose it, right? Whereas this option you will not get in working with the real board, right? You'll have to purchase this separately. You can even change the board. A lot of options are there. Let's say you're interested to learn about Arduino also, right? You can do that. You can also basically change the board. Different boards are available. You can change it as well. You can have add-ons here. Spare parts are there, right? For example, different components you want to add, right? This, for example, an LCD screen, right? You can add inputs, you can add outputs easily without purchasing them really. So you can practice more using the online simulator. So the programs which you write in an online simulator and I run on an online simulator versus a programs which you run on real hardware, there is no difference. It will work exactly the same way. This is called as Pixim Lab, which the online course we are going to use. Similarly for ARM, we use QEMU, right? QEMU emulator will be used to practice ARM basically related course. In terms of placement, there's no difference. Placements, everything remains the same. Excuse me. Grab some water. So in the online mode of delivery, we'll have like live virtual classes. These are live classes. They are not recorded classes wherein the mentor will explain the concepts, code along sessions, etc. will be done online. Plus you'll have lab sessions wherein mentors will explain the assignment, project, etc. There will be two separate live sessions will be there. Apart from that, you'll have something called as live doubt clearing sessions. In the during the lab sessions, you can clear your doubts, ask questions, etc. And we'll also provide something called as a learning management system access to you, wherein you can submit your assignments, projects, etc. You can take up some quizzes so that you can test your knowledge and so on. We'll also conduct interview prep sessions in the online mode, right? So let's say you want to brush up some of the concepts in C, or you want to brush up before you take interviews, right? So we'll have prep sessions. Interview prep sessions also will be conducted in the online mode of delivery. Offline also we'll have a similar thing. Instead of virtual, it's going to be face to face. Okay, so what are the things you're going to learn as part of this course, right? You'll initially in the beginning, right? You learn about three basic modules like Linux systems, C programming, and C++ programming. You will make sure that your foundations are strong in the programming. Then in level 2, you learn about like data structures, microcontrollers, and Linux internals. Okay. In the end, you learn about embedded Linux on ARM, which is mostly related to board bring up and porting. Apart from that, we'll also have some DISHA workshops, which are non-technical in nature, like interview prep workshops, resume prep workshops, certification related information, right? Placement guideline sessions, etc. will be conducted separately as well. So high level, these are the subjects you're going to learn. And by learning all these subjects, should be able to gain the required skill and land up in a core company. Any questions you have related to this slide? Is there any test for online students at least a week? Tests will be conducted regularly. It may not be every week because we'll have to do assignments, etc. Right? But maybe every 2 or 3 weeks, right? We'll try to conduct a test. So Amrut is asking what type of candidates company look for. Will they look for candidates who have hands-on experience simulators or who work on a hardware boards? The companies, it may not matter much, right? They'll ask some questions. Let's say they'll ask some theoretical questions in microcontrollers, right? Okay, maybe what's the difference between microcontroller, microprocessor? What is an ISR, right? Write a program to basically, for example, let's say blink an LED, or how does an interrupt service routine looks like. So in asking them some questions will are related to a subject, it will not really matter whether you've done it on a simulator or a hardware board. So in case, let's say you're interested to buy a hardware, you can do that as well. Online students can also purchase a hardware. Okay, it's up to you to do that. Then you can practice on the board as well. Not an issue. But we don't mandate it. It's not mandatory. I completed bachelor's in 2023 with 8.46 CGA. During my college placements, I also placed in Ramco Systems and Nokia. Both the companies informed their offer is on hold. Later, I have joined a company. Don't want to mention the name, okay, fine, and the role of embedded system, but here I can't learn things. Can you guide me whether I take up online class will be better? So I think you are already working, right, and you just want to do some upskilling, right? So I think online class will be better for you because you're already working, right? So that you can parallelly work as well as learn and upskill yourself. Akshita is asking why is option 3 timing very less. Option 3 is for working professionals, right? They're already like on a daily basis, they'll be very tired, right? You're working already 8 to 9 hours. And after that, if we tell them to basically attend more hours of classes, right? You can imagine what is going to happen. So it's tailor-made for them. For them, it's like the number of days, number of hours in a day will be less, but overall the duration uh, in terms of number of days on months will increase for them. Okay, so for them the problem is that they will not be able to complete the assignments and project similar to freshers, because freshers they don't have anything else to do, right? 24 hours available for them, whereas working professionals they're working busy, right? For them, let's say we ask them to do some project or assignment, they'll not be able to do it uh, in the schedule which is given with respect to freshers. For example, weekends they may have to work on, or we may have to give them some off, telling that you complete the assignment or project, etc. So for freshers, we don't recommend joining the online evening batch. You have to take up the regular batch. I hope I answered your question, Akshita. Fine, let me move on. If you have any more questions, you can ask, not a problem. Okay. So as mentioned, apart from like technical sessions, we'll try to basically improve your other skills as well. Like we'll conduct interview prep sessions, technical interview prep sessions, resume workshops, and some career guidance sessions, so that you can also improve your non-technical skills as well. Okay. So what I'll do now is that I will share a small demo of how the actual class looks like in the online mode. So please understand, this is not a full-fledged basically class. It is just a snapshot of, let's say, 5 or 10 minutes of the class, how it looks like. We just pulled it in. So you may not be able to understand everything whatever is being taught, because it's not from the scratch from the beginning. So something which is ongoing, that topic you are taken, and I'm going to show a demo of that. So you can watch this class session.
These are the total memory allocated. Now, after an array is been declared, maybe I want to give the values into the array, because just the array's declaration will have garbage value. Assume I take int array of size 5. Okay, there has to be 20 bytes of memory allocated. Assume this is the 20 bytes of memory allocated for the array. So I'm storing 5 integers. So each integer takes how many bytes? Each integer takes how many bytes? Correct. So each integer takes 4 bytes. So if the starting address of the array is 1000, where will be the next element present? If the starting address of the array is 1000, where will be the next element present? Assume this is 1000. Where will be the next element present? Yes. Each of the element uses 4 bytes. So it is 1004, then 1008, 1012, 1016. To access the array's element, you have to go with something called as the index number. An index number varies between 0 to size minus 1. So very first element will be in index 0, second element will be in index 1, third element will be in index 2, fourth element will be in index 3, and fifth element will be in index 4. Okay. If you just declare the array like this, the array's element will have garbage value by default. So in order to not have a garbage value present inside the memory block, maybe I want certain values to made sit inside it. In such cases, I have to do the array's initialization. To initialize the array, here inside the curly braces, I have to give 5 elements: 10, 20, 30, 40 and 50. In that case, that value will be written here. That will be 10, 20, 30, 40 and 50. Okay, this is how I declare the array. This is how I do the initialization, and this is how the memory for the array will be allocated. Accessing happens with respect to the index number varying between 0 to size minus 1. See here, data type, name, size, where size represents the number of elements. So the total memory occupied by the array is number of elements multiplied by size of an element. That is in turn size into size of the data type. If this is the array I'm going to take of 5 size with the values 10, 20, 30, 40 and 50, this will be the array. So the very starting address of the array always is called as the base address of the array. This address 1000 will always be called as the base address of the array, or you can also call it as starting address or address of the very first element of the array. All of them means the same, but we usually refer it as base address. Okay, you can call it as base address, or you can call it as the starting address, or you also can call it as the address of first element. Okay, the starting address is called as the base address or starting address or address of the first element of the array. So then it is plus 4, plus 8, plus 12, plus 16. Index has to vary between 0 to size minus 1. So it has to be starting from 0. An array is a collection of similar data type. Elements occupy consecutive memory locations. First element will be in the lowest address and last element will be in the highest address. Elements are indexed from 0 to size minus 1. So if the size of the array is 5, index will vary from 0 to 4. Accessing out of the range array elements would be an illegal access. So whenever you have to access the elements of the array, you have to go with the name of the array, then the index number. Okay. So array of 0, array of 1, like this, you have to go with the index number. So if the index number varies between 0 to 4, I can access only between array of 0 to array of 4. Out of the boundary, that is accessing array of -1 or accessing array of 5 is not allowed. It is an illegal access where you might get to see a error. So accessing out of the range array elements would be illegal access. You should not access the elements in array of -1 and array of size. And once the memory for the array is allocated, it can never be altered in the runtime. That is, while executing the program, the array size can never be modified. So if you declare an array like this, it will be 20 bytes of memory allocated for sure. So this size can never be altered throughout the program. Again, here in double denum of size 6, there will be 48 continuous bytes already allocated. You never get a chance to increase or decrease the size once it has been allocated. So this is the concept of array. Clear this much? Okay. So have this one noted. The next we will see is how to print the elements of the array. Okay. So there are different ways of printing the array's element, which we will be seeing shortly. Before that, have this one noted. So the next we have got is to print the array's element. So when you are supposed to print the array's element, we usually go with the name of the array and the index number. But that has to be done on a repetitive manner. So what is it necessary to be used? What is it necessary to be used if I have to print? Yes, loop is definitely necessary. So I can print the array's element in any of a loop considered. Observe. Okay. So first I try printing it in a for loop. Int array of size 5. I also do the initialization with 10, 20, 30, 40 and 50. I need another integer variable I for the sake of index. So I will first say it as printf arrays elements are. Okay. So I run a for loop for I is equal to 0, I less than 5 and I plus plus, because 5 is the size of the array. Inside this, I go with the printf. Sorry. Yeah, so printf %d \n comma array's name with index. Okay, so first array of 0 will be printed when I will have a 0 taken, then array of 1, then array of 2, array of 3, array of 4. When I becomes 5, 5 lesser than 5 will be condition false. You come out of the for loop. Observe the output here. So I am compiling and executing. These are the array's element which I am printing using a for loop. Let me change this. I try printing using a while loop.
So this was a very short demo of how a topic like array was explained in one of the online classes. So hope you got a quick idea of how the online class is delivered. So basically, the mentor will explain some concept, then he or she will move on to the actual coding part of it, wherein they'll write the program, execute it. Meanwhile, they'll also give you some time to practice, right, during the session, so that you can use a laptop right? Complete this program, execute it, so that you make sure that your concept and understanding is well. So in between, you can interrupt the mentor also, right? Who's explaining it, so at least you didn't understand something, you can stop the mentor, you can ask those questions, and you can get it clarified as well. This was a short demo. I'll move to another demo wherein a topic like microcontroller, right, is taken in the online mode. So many people have this doubt, okay, how can I basically learn microcontroller programming in the online mode? So after COVID, you can see that plenty of tools are available, right? You can download and you can practice even hardware related basically programs as well. Let me show a quick demo of um, a small session related to microcontrollers. So audio for this session is little low, so sorry about that, but I will play it for now. So this video shows how the online classes are taken for the microcontroller session using a IDE as well as a simulator.
This conference will now be recorded.
Hello everyone. In today's class, let's see how we can write an embedded program to toggle the LEDs connected to the board bit. So now to write the embedded program, we are going to use the tool MPLAB XID. So you can see here. So this is the MPLAB XID. If you open this, you will see this as a starting page. So some projects are mentioned here, data sheet is available here. Even if you worked on some recent project, that list is available. See, and even you will get the microchip login. So if you have a login ID password, you do the login, and you can do the purchase on a microchip website, right? Okay, so now let me go back to the question. So question was, we wanted to toggle the LEDs connected to the port D. So now here in this MPLAB ID, you can see these are the different tools available. So we can use these tools as per the requirement. For example, this is to create a new file. It's to create a new project. It is to open the project. This option is to do the build. You can see different menu options are there. So as per the need, what we will do, we will take an approach. Whatever we need it, we will start using those things. Now here in this MPLAB XID, I already created a project and kept it ready. So project name is what? LEDs. So in this project, I created. So when this project is created, this MPLAB XID create some organized sections. You can see here. So now to write this program, to write the embedded code, we need a main.c. So generally .c files goes here in this source file sections, header files goes here, make file will go here, linker script will go to this section. Or if you need any libraries, if you are planning to add any libraries, then those goes into this section. And finally, this is the place for your executable file. So let me go to the main.c. So you can double click and open the main.c in the editor window. So now you can see I'm defining two macros. So instead of using port D directly, so what I did, since if you see the hardware on the hardware, so you are having total 16 LEDs. So this is the PiximLab simulator board. So it's having total 16 LEDs. So currently we are going to toggle LEDs connected to the port D. These are the these are the 8 LEDs out of 16. So these 8 LED array we are going to toggle. Toggling means on off we are going to do. So now since I'm having 8 LEDs, I'm defining the micro LED array as a port D, and to give the direction to the port pins, there is a register RISD. I'm defining that with name LED array data direction register. Now you can see here comes my main. So here I'm calling init config function. So this function is to do the initialization. So what we are doing, so in main itself, we are not doing initialization. It doesn't look good. So there is a separate dedicated function to do the initialization. It is init config. So control will go here and here in this init config. So initially what we are doing, if we are using LED, we need to set the pin direction as output. So I'm writing my LED array data direction register as a 0. It will set port D pin as the output, and to start with initially I will keep all LEDs connected to the port D as a off. So to turn off the LED, I need to load 0. So I'm writing here 0. So LEDs remain off, fine. And here comes our while one. So if you see any embedded system, once you turn on the embedded system, it runs forever, right? It goes into infinite loop. So here comes my infinite loop while one. So inside this while one, we are going to write our application. So what is our application? We wanted to toggle the LED. So here is my instruction to toggle the LED. So I'm writing LED array equal to tilt of LED array. So what it will do? It will toggle the values of this LED array. If it is 0, it will make it 1. If it is 1, it will make it 0. So now you can see. So this is what 0x00. So after execution of this instruction, this LED array value becomes 0xFF. So entire port becomes 0xFF. All port bits become 1. So all LED turn on. LEDs are going to be turned on. And here what I'm doing. So before going to this instruction once again, I'm putting the delay. So if this delay is not there, what happens? We will not be able to see the LED toggling. So it will happen at very faster rate. Due to the persistence of region, we will not be able to capture it. So I added the delay. Then after this delay, what happened? Next time, since we are in the while one, control will go back here. So again, we are changing the LED array value from what? FF to 0. So now what happened? LED become off, then again delay. So like this way, we are making LEDs on, LEDs off. Fine. Now. So we have to build the code. We have to compile the code. How we can do? So here in this mplab xid, I install x8 compiler. So that's why this header file is also included related to the compiler. So now how you can do the build? So you can see here is one option to do the build. So let me click on that. It will start doing build. My project is getting a build. Now you can see build is going on. So it will take some time. Please wait. Now see, build is successful. That means your hex file is created, and even it will give you the memory summary of your project. So now my hex file is created and it is loaded also. Now what we can do? So we can load that hex file where in this board. So we can run that hex file here in this microcontroller. So this is the heart of this board. So basically here we are using PIC16F877A microcontroller. So we are going to load the hex file here. How? So you can go to the file, you can select the load hex, and you have to navigate wherever your project is stored. So let me navigate. So now, just for the sake of simplicity, I kept the project on the desktop. So let me select that. Now again, you have to go to the distribute directory. So basically, you have to use this path. After build successful, it is prompting the path where X file is available. I'm just referring that. Then you have to go to the default production. Here is the X file. Let me open. Okay, expected output is what? These LEDs should toggle, but it's not happening. Why? Because these DIP switch related settings are not done. So to turn on the LEDs connected to the port D, this DIP switch, second one, you have to pull this switch up. So let me do that. So it's down. You have to pull it up. So let me select. Now you can see the change here. So what this program is doing, it's running in this microcontroller and it is toggling the LEDs. And even we are able to see that toggling very clearly, right? Okay, so this is our program, our embedded code to toggle the LEDs connected to the port D. Fine.
Okay, so that was a quick demo of one of the microcontroller topics using the online simulator. Okay, so hope you got an idea of how the online classes will be taken with the use of a simulator. So in summary, it won't make much of a difference whether you do it in the online mode or offline mode. So you will be able to write the program using an ID and run it on a simulator, which will work exactly the same way how it works on real hardware. Okay, so I'm getting some questions. Study material like PPT, are they shared to students? Yes, we'll share all the study materials to you in the LMS Learning Management Portal. Then will we learn PIC controller only or ARM programming as well? We will be learning, we will be teaching you PIC microcontroller programming. ARM programming is not covered as part of the course. Okay, so let me continue from where we left. Okay, so this was a quick demo because people ask how is the online classes taken. So online classes equally or more effective compared to offline classes. It's just that you make sure that you attend the classes regularly. Okay, so is online course as effective as offline course? The answer is yes, right? So you will not see much of a difference between online and offline at the comfort of your home, right? Wherever you are, you can take up those sessions. So which one is cost effective, online or offline? So I would say online is cost effective because when you come to so first thing is that online course fee is less compared to offline course fee. It's one thing. Second thing is that when you, let's say, leave your home and come to, let's say, Bangalore, you'll have to basically pay the rent for your PG, right? You have to pay for your food, right? Almost it's going to like every month you'll end up spending some, so let's say 6K to 10K minimum, right? You'll have to spend apart from the course fees, right? So if you multiply that with number of months you're going to stay in Bangalore, right? You easily you'll be shelling out, let's say, 80 to 90K, right? After 8 or 9 months. So which you can say if you take up the online course. Okay, so are my mentors? I think mentors are same for online as well as offline classes. Okay, not much of a difference. Some other questions people get is that I'm working professional, which course suits for me? As I mentioned, evening class will be suitable for you. So I'm in 7th semester or 8th semester, for example. Can I take up this course? Yes, you can take it up. You can join the evening batch and take up the evening classes, right? So I have completed my engineering. Should I choose online or offline? Again, as I told you, it's up to you, right? So you can take online or offline depending upon your interest, right? If you can take it from home and you are comfortable attending online classes, you can take up the online classes. But if you think that you want to come to, let's say, Bangalore, and you want to see the mentors face to face, you can take up the offline course. But online is much more easier and recommended. Is there any difference between placements online offline? There is no difference as such, right? Because you're going to learn the same things. There is no difference in terms of placements or online or as well as offline. Okay, so what about people with career gap, etc., right? How can I get a core job? So people with career gap, only thing we tell is that you need to showcase your skills, right, to the companies. So by working on more projects, like for example, let's say you work on every module, you do 2 projects, right? It'll become, let's say, 8 projects in your resume, which is of having much value, right? It's like as if you work for 1 or 2 years, right? If you do some 8 projects. So by doing such projects, more and more projects, you should be able to land up in a good job. I showed some example success stories in our Instagram. You can follow us. You can see some of the students with career gap. How did they get a job, right, in a core domain? Okay, I'm getting some more questions, I guess, right? Is it possible to switch from online to offline anytime? We don't recommend that. Okay, switching the batches, right? uh, Reason is that, okay, let's say you complete 2 or 3 modules and you want to come to offline. One thing is that we should check the availability, whether seats are available for the offline batch. If it's available, you can do a one-time shift at a later stage. Okay, but it may not be required, I feel. Okay, let me also show you, right, some more details about the course delivery quickly. Okay. I'm just sharing my screen. A brief about how the course basically delivery looks like. I just wanted to share, right? So on a daily basis, we'll have class and lab sessions, right, which you have to attend. Apart from that, we'll give you some assignments and projects. So by doing assignments and projects, the idea is that you'll be able to learn programming, right, problem solving skills. Programming and problem solving, they're important. So by doing assignments, you'll gain confidence that yes, I can write a program on my own, right? And when you attend the interviews, they'll ask some programs. By practicing these programs, you will be gaining programming skills, and you'll also gain confidence that you'll be able to clear the interviews. The projects are kind of mini projects. At the end of the module, you'll have to work on some projects which will be guided by the mentors. These projects, whenever you complete, you can add it to your resume, right? So it'll add value to your resume. More projects you do, better it is for getting shortlisted in companies. So projects will be having much weightage for companies to shortlist you. And when you attend interviews, they'll ask questions on projects. So if you study the projects well, definitely you'll be able to crack the interviews. In terms of evaluation, we conduct some tests like multiple choice questions, MCQ based test, objective test will be there, as well as module test. This is to check your knowledge level, right? You can keep taking tests. You can see where you stand in terms of some skills, right? Whether you gain the appropriate skills or not, you can validate by taking up the test. So this is in terms of your learning. You'll have class, lab, assignments, projects, etc. Over a period of time, we'll be gaining more knowledge. So in terms of support, for example, let's say you're getting stuck somewhere, right? Especially online students. You can ask doubts in the class and lab. Apart from class and lab, let's say working on some assignments or you have some doubts on some topic, you can seek support by using our WhatsApp group, right? So we create a WhatsApp group for every batch. Any doubts you have, you can post in the WhatsApp group. So our mentors will be there. We'll be there happy to answer your queries. Apart from that, you also conduct doubt clearing sessions. There is also a discussion forum in LMS. You can post your queries. Mentors as well as other batchmates will respond to your queries. Apart from this training in technical subjects, we conduct regular placement preparation basically sessions also. For example, we conduct mock interviews. Before you attend real interview, we'll conduct mock interview so that you can check your knowledge level. We can also grade you. We can tell you, okay, this is where you stand in a specific subject. These are the areas of improvement, etc. So those feedback will be given to you so that you can improvise and attend the actual interviews. Okay. Then others basically extra things which you will be sharing with you is that we have a huge database of company specific questions, right? So since we've been like doing the trainings in the last 20 years, we have a huge database of company specific questions, which in fact is not shared in public, right? So whoever take up the course will get access to this questions. Okay. Similarly, we'll conduct prep test for interviews. Preparation sessions will be conducted so that you can prepare well and attend the interviews. Okay, so similarly, for every company which visits our placements, our placement team creates something called as a WhatsApp group for each company, and all information related to that company will be shared in the WhatsApp group, like schedule, which questions were previously asked, updates related to the placement drive, etc. will be shared in the WhatsApp group. We also have a student success team who are responsible for basically sharing feedback to you, helping you in other aspects of the course as well. Anytime you need help, you can reach out to them. They will guide you accordingly. So in terms of LMS, Learning Management System, I'll show a quick demo of how the Learning Management Portal looks like. This screen, just a minute. Whenever you are enrolled for the course, you will be given access to a learning management system wherein we have like access to all the course materials, right? So you can see a dashboard with all the courses. Right here you can see, right, C programming, C++ programming, C programming, coding questions, right? Disha workshops are there, data structures, C++, right? All the modules which are part of the course will be available in the LMS. Let me navigate to the C programming module, right? In this, you can see different activities, right? You can see resources, like somebody asks, will I get access to slides? Yeah, you have all the access to slides, right? Course materials, etc. is available in the resource section, right? You can also see class recordings for online batches, right? All the class recordings are available here. You can click on it, you can open the recording, you can watch it anytime, right? So class as well as lab recordings are available. You can see lab recordings are there, right? As every assignment is explained to you, right? You can also see template code, right? Programs which we are taken in the class, chapter wise it's available. You can download it, you can practice those assignments and project. Test whenever you take, we conduct something as a follow-up session, right? You take, let's say you attend a test which contains some 50-100 questions, right? Now you don't know the answer, you don't know the concept. So our mentors will explain, take each question, try to basically solve those questions in the live sessions. Okay. So all these things are available as part of the LMS, right? So apart from that, you can also have access to quiz, right? And lab, right? So quiz, for example, some objective test will be there. Okay, you'll also have module test, Viva test, etc. So these can be accessed in the LMS, right? This is same for online as well as offline. There is no difference, right, in terms of the LMS. Only difference is that for online students you'll get recordings, offline students there won't be recordings, or other basically features remain the same. Okay. Apart from that, you'll also get access to virtual programming lab, right? So virtual programming lab is nothing but an infrastructure available wherein you can practice the programs online only, right? You don't have to install anything on your system. You can do it very well, not a problem. But these, for example, some of the programs which you write, you can type it in the portal and you can submit it, and it automatically will grade you, right? So you can see whether you got marks or not, right? You can see they got 95 out of 100 for this specific assignment. So programs you can write here will get automatically evaluated as well. So this LMS or learning management system you will be using constantly, right? Wherein you can access all the activities related to the course, right? Similarly, we also create something called as a WhatsApp group, right? So in WhatsApp group, we can see, right? For two things are there. Two groups are created. One is for every batch we create a group, right? So that communication, right, related to your batch will happen, right, in this WhatsApp group. So WhatsApp group can be used to, for example, ask doubts. Whichever batch you're part of, we can post your queries in the WhatsApp group. For every batch, we'll have a WhatsApp group created. Similarly, for every company that visits for placements, we'll create a WhatsApp group. I just pinned some of the companies. For example, recently we sent our students to Event Systems, right? So you can see here all communication related to that basically company, right? For that specific drive is shared here, starting from the schedule, right? Who is basically shortlisted, right? These are the candidates shortlisted for second round. You can see all information related to the drive is shared, right? And you can also see which questions they're asking also is shared in the group so that other students can prepare, right? Then students, when they're reaching the company, they're updating as they reach the company, right? You can also see that, okay, some of the students are updating that HR round is over, right? Technical management round is over. Then you can also see that, okay, some students got place. This is like an ongoing drive, right? So questions they are sharing, progress they are sharing, right? You can also see finally messages, right? Some congratulation messages also going on, right? Some students got placed recently. So overall, our placement team will create a WhatsApp group so that end-to-end like process from the starting from the scheduling till you get an offer letter, we will support you, right? So this is for another company. You can see, right? Similar communication is happening, right? As and when basically progress there, questions they are sharing, schedule they are sharing, right? And they are also informing that they're getting selected also, right? So like this, for every company we created a WhatsApp group, right? So these are like recent companies, student got placed today, one student got placed, right, etc. So let's look at LG, for example. You can see every month LG comes 2 or 3 times, right? Same company will keep coming again and again. Why are they coming back to us? Because they have many openings, plus our brand is established, right? They know that our students do well. they come back to us, they're hired from us, right? So that is in brief about the LMS and the placement related details. Okay, any questions you have? Do you have any questions? Somebody's asking, will the language be English? Yes, we'll be teaching in English because we have people all across India as well as outside India taking up the course. So the mode of language will be English. Okay, so let me move on to the placement section. Okay, I'll just briefly share how the placement process looks like. Then we will end the session. Okay, it's already 9 o'clock. Thanks for basically waiting patiently and listening to me. I'll try to cover the topics as soon as possible. So with respect to placement, our placement process is very streamlined and transparent. Okay, so whenever a company visits for recruitment, right, what we do is that we post that information, share the information to students in something called as Google Groups. So what you guys can do is that you can check the application, you see whether you're interested to apply for that company, you're fine with the salary, you're matching the criteria of the company, you can apply online, right? Once you're done with the application, we'll do some screening, shortlisting. We'll check whether you have completed the required modules, whether the criteria is matching, etc. So we'll screen your application, then we'll send the details to that company, right? So company will basically check your resume, company will check your marks, etc. Then they will conduct the written test and interviews. So many of the companies, especially since you are freshers, many of them are freshers, they will conduct a written test, technical written test mostly. Some of the companies also conduct aptitude test also. If you clear the test, they'll call for face-to-face interviews. So if you perform well in the face-to-face interview, you'll get selected. They will share the offer letter, maybe immediately, or you may have to wait for some time, right? This is typically how the placement process looks like, and they will onboard you, right? So this is one thing. Okay, then all the information is available to you via emails, right? Whenever a new company comes for placements, we'll send an email notification to you, wherein you will get an application link. You can click on that application link, you can apply for that job. Okay, so all these details will be shared to you when you are enrolled for the course. Okay, so some questions which are commonly asked with respect to placements, right? How long will I get placement opportunities through Emertxe? So you will get like 2 more years of basically like up to 2 years you can apply for placements. So after completing the course, right, additional 2 years I have, till then you can continue to apply for placements. Okay, so once you get a job, right, so you are done, right? So some people ask, can I get to choose between 2 companies, right? So typically what happens is that, let's say you apply for a company X, you complete the interview and you get a job. After getting a job, you'll not be able to apply for a company Y, right? That is something which is we are clear about. At times what happens is that you're applying for 2 or 3 companies parallelly, you're attending the interviews parallelly, and both the companies share the offer letter to you in a similar timeline. In such cases, you have a choice to make, right? You can consult with the placement team and make a decision as to which company you want to join. This happens only if you're attending multiple companies parallelly. Third question is, should I apply to all companies? We say no. Apply only to companies which are interested to join. Only then you apply. Some people say no, I will just, for the sake of testing my skills, I will apply. So you should not be doing such things, right? Apply to a company only if you are interested. So I shared what type of companies hiring I already shared with you, right? These questions I have already answered. So one more question is that I have notice period bond with my current company. How can I handle it, right? This is a common question. So what we would recommend is that, so this, you get in touch with the placement team and tell them that what is your notice period, right? So you have, let's say, 1 month notice period, 2 month notice period, some have 3 months notice period, right? So one option is that some people, what they do is that they'll keep preparing, complete the course. Before applying for placements, they will quit that company, right? And they start applying for a job. Some say no, we have basically some bond in our company, right? Maybe we can do a payout and basically come out of that bond period. So these things you can get in touch with the placement team. They will guide you as to what you should be doing if you're having a notice period. Okay. So that's it about placements. Do you have any queries with respect to placements? Yeah, so Tushar is asking, will I know the package before applying? I'm placed somewhere and want to try it for higher package, will I be allowed, right? So package information is published already, right? So this information will be shared in the application. If you think that this is the app package for you, right, you can apply. Otherwise, you don't have to apply for that company. Okay, so let me quickly share you the upcoming course dates, right? So we have like 3 batches scheduled. One is offline batch is scheduled on 31st October. Okay, and online regular is scheduled on 27th. Sorry, this is not the correct date. Just a second. Should be October. It's not September. Okay. Just let me just pull in the date from the website. So this is the schedule, right? You can see here the offline course is on 31st October, whereas the online regular course is on 27th October. The online evening course is on 3rd November, right? With these dates you can make a note, and if any further queries you can get in touch with the course counseling team. Okay, so these dates are available on the website as well. Okay, so further queries you have related to the course fees, right? Course timings, etc., batch timings, etc. You can get in touch with the our student counselors. Email ID is training@emertxe.com, right? Phone number you can make a note, right? This is a phone number 809 555 7332. It's available on our website as well. If you're not having this information, you can make a note of it as well. Okay. All right. So last but not the least, we are active on social media as well as on LinkedIn, right? So any updates related to course placements, right? We also conduct something called as master classes, wherein external basically resources from industry, they share their knowledge, etc. So all that information is published in LinkedIn as well as Instagram, right? You can subscribe to our basically social media handles, so you'll get all the updates, right? Our handle is Emertxe IT, both for LinkedIn as well as Instagram. So we are located in Bangalore in MG Road, right? If you visit Bangalore and you come to basically in somewhere near MG Road, you can feel free to drop in. You can talk to our course counselors. They'll help you out as well. Okay. So do you have any questions? Last 5 minutes. Any questions you can ask? So with this, I would like to say welcome. Okay, so welcome to Emertxe. In case you're interested to join the course, you can get in touch with the student counseling team. Otherwise, also you need any other information related to embedded systems, you can reach out to us. We are happy to basically help you. Okay, I'm getting some questions. Certificate will be of course completion. Yeah, since it's a course, you'll get a course completion certificate. Okay, it's not internship. Yeah, for fees, the fee structure differs from course to course. For online course, offline course is different. Plus for offline course, there is some scholarship also available. And there'll be some discounts also if you pay in one shot. So all that information you can get in touch with this email ID, training@emertxe.com, or this phone number. They'll share the details. Okay. So which course is Riya's asking one question. I think which course is good, embedded systems or embedded C or IoT? So please note it's not embedded C. We're not having a specific course called as embedded C. We're having embedded systems course. As part of embedded system, there is C also, right? So both are equally good. It depends upon your interest, right? You are interested in embedded systems only, you can take up that course. You're interested to learn specifically about IoT, you can take up that course. Okay, it is a matter of somebody's personal interest. Akshata, will you provide each student a counselor or a mentor? I'm not sure. You're telling. So typically for a batch, class mentor and lab mentors are allocated, right? So they will guide a batch for a specific subject. Will it make any difference in placements? That's the number of companies for online, offline will vary. Some companies comes in offline to the institute. What about online batch students? Yeah. So Mohammed, I think as I told you, the number of companies who conduct the interview online is less compared to the companies who do offline interviews. So most of the companies, they will conduct offline interviews. Things have changed now, right? So few companies are there who take up online interviews, but majority of the companies, they want you to basically come to their campus and apply for placements. There are a few companies though, they're okay. They'll allow you to basically attend the interviews online. Because in the last 1 or 2 years, they are seeing a lot of behavioral issues with respect to interview takers, right? You can see every now and then people are cheating, right? They'll do proxies, right? Somebody else will be answering on their behalf, right? So to avoid all these things, companies are calling people offline. Pritham, I joined embedded, can apply for IoT jobs. If you have the skills for IoT, for example, let's say you know about Arduino, you know about IoT protocols, and companies asking for it, yes, you can apply. If you don't know about IoT and companies expecting you to know IoT, you cannot apply. When will be eligible for placements? Which month from joining? Typically, we say that you have to complete 3 or 4 modules like Linux systems, C, data structures. After that, you can apply for companies who only ask for these subjects, right? You cannot say that, okay, company is asking for Linux internals, I will apply even though I don't know that subject, right? So you have to understand, okay, people are only like keen about getting a job. Some people, they don't want to learn, right? So when will you get a job? Only if you know certain things, right? And after getting a job, let's assume you don't know some subject. Again, it becomes a problem, right? They'll scold you only, right? Oh, you said you have done the course and you don't know these things. So to avoid those things, better to basically complete more number of subjects than apply. Now I'm asking about personal mentor each student to look after our progress, something like that. Will you provide? Yeah, so we have like student success team. We'll monitor your progress, right? Who's performing well, who's not performing. They constantly basically keep a tab on your performance. In case somebody is not performing well, they'll guide you accordingly, right? Irrespective of that, so from a student side, you can reach out to the mentors anytime, right? They are available to you. So if you have any issues with respect to like understanding, etc., you can reach out to the student success team. They will guide you. All right. If you any final questions anybody has? So hope this session was good for you, right? You are able to clarify your doubts, and you would have got a good understanding about what embedded systems and IoT course is about, how we deliver, how the placement process looks like, what you'll be learning as part of the course, and how the LMS looks like. Regarding placements, I shared a brief idea about how the placement process looks like and how we basically share the materials, schedule, etc. in WhatsApp group, etc. If you have further queries, feel free to reach out to our counseling team. They will guide you. Okay. So with this, I would like to say good night to all, right? And thank you for patiently listening to me. Further queries, reach out to our team. They'll be glad to help you out. Thank you, everyone. Have a good night. So I think one last question, I think one or two questions still popping up. How many projects will be done till completion of course? We say on an average you can do 8 projects, right? More than 8 also you can do. It's up to you. Okay. Preetham, IoT course start date, I think it is November 2nd, if I'm not wrong. 2nd or 3rd is the date. Okay, you can check with the students, sorry, counseling team once again to confirm. All right. So thanks everyone. Thanks for attending this webinar. Okay, so as mentioned, any further queries, get in touch with the student success team. Thank you all. Good night.